Ben Burney is my name. I work in Kilcannon Industries, which is a garden centre as well as a restaurant. We are part of County Wexford Community Workshop, which was set up in 1976 as a day service and residential service for people with disabilities, to have an opportunity for people who have a higher ability and who wanted to work, to give them an opportunity for employment. Basically, it started with the garden centre. We did many different works for local businesses. We've also got a car wash, a sports hall, as well as a hockey pitch. We've also got training rooms, and we facilitate training for people with disabilities. I mean, the type of training that we do would be safe pass training, first aid training, and we set up our own restaurant then, and we train people in the restaurant, and they also then are able to get jobs outside of Kilcannon. Because of the goodwill that's there, we would facilitate meetings for the local county council. We would facilitate meetings for the local businesses. Ability Ireland also come in here with the local people who have disabilities, helping them to make their own dinners, helping them to be independent as far as living is concerned. So we contribute quite substantially to the local area. And the fact that we are a recognised charity, it means that we're not interfering with anybody else, and people locally feel a lot easier to be able to come here and avail of our facilities. The fact that we are actually in a rural setting, everybody knows each other. If I am looking for something, if I am stuck with something, I know there's always somebody who knows somebody who can help me. And that's the advantage of being in a rural setting. People want to help you, and the goodwill that we have here is just tremendous. The staff here have varying different roles, and they work on totally different terms. Some are able for 5-day weeks, some are able for less than 5-day week, and whatever suits them. Also, what we would do is we try to tailor the job to suit the person. And one of the biggest advantages, I think, of having a restaurant and having a garden centre is what we call reverse integration. So when they come to work or train here, either in the restaurant or in the garden centre, they're interacting with people, the general public. And when the two come together, people realise that we're all the same, we talk to people the very same, and I think that's the biggest plus. These people have self-worth, and they are contributing to the community. The main source of training income for Kilcannon Industries would be the restaurant as well as the garden centre. Our turnover would be 1.2 million, and that incorporates the Astroactive Centre as well as the garden centre and the restaurant. We have a nursery as well, which we produce our own, and we're delighted to be able to say that we are recently supplying other garden centres with what we grow ourselves. It would not be possible for us to survive without receiving support from government agencies. We would work very, very well with PUBL. We work with the Department of Employment. We have a CE scheme as well as a social enterprise scheme. We would also receive funding because of COVID, WSS, and without that it would have been virtually impossible for us. Because we were closed, it would have been virtually impossible for us to stay alive. COVID-19 has had a serious effect on people with disabilities because of the fact that they are vulnerable, because they are worried, and coming into a centre was what they were used to. They were meeting their friends, and what we tried to do then was, rather than the service users coming to the centre, we tried to organise and open hubs in their locality, and community centres, halls. We were able to go out with our employees out to the hubs, as we call them, and then the service users were able to avail of the service in their own locality. Also, what we'll be looking at, I suppose, would be capital expenditure and capital supports in order to be able to change and upgrade our machinery. Our difficulty, I suppose, would be transport. That's what makes a rural area difficult to access, especially for people with disabilities. Because if people have a problem in getting to work, it's very difficult for them to either drive if they have a disability. They need transport, and that's where the funding is needed, in getting people to their work and getting them home from work. I actually think that the government need to support people with disabilities, and they have a very good Department of Health and HSE looking after people with disabilities, but I think sometimes they actually forget the people with disabilities who have jobs. We at Kilcannon wish to have an impact on the lives of people with disabilities. We want them to be able to live the life of their choice. We want to train their ability to be able to live independently, and if they wish to have a job, we try to train them to be able to have the self-esteem and the self-confidence to be able to go for that job and go wherever they wish.